requesting the zone be designated for heightened security.
Roger. Upgrading security status.
Your route through Denver has been plotted based on data culled from various security systems. I took the liberty of adding a guidance device to your chassis to ensure you do not stray too far. Handy, eh?
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice. Here comes more of this. We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice. Here comes more of them.
Get off!
What's your status?
They trashed my car. I'll have to go the rest of the way on foot.
Do you really have to do this?
Look, I'm fed up with all of it. Companies like ours, yours, bend the laws when it suits business. Why not bend it when it can save innocent lives?
Raiden.
Boris, listen to me. That VR training, they'll be warped into killing machines. They'll be set on POWs, civilians. It'll be one atrocity after another.
Like what you went through.
We can't have any more Jack the Rippers. You saw what happened with George. I'm doing this, Boris. I have to. I can't save those kids from becoming cyborgs, but I can stop them from becoming murderers.
So you succeed. So you get all the brains back. Then what?
Just so happens I know un great cybernetic surgeon.
Doctor. But he cannot.
You won't change my mind, Boris. This is my fight now.
And your wife and son? What of them?
They're in New Zealand. Safe. Rose would understand why I have to do this.
All right, damn you. You do realize Marshall has the contract for law enforcement throughout the city. They are the law in Denver.
Yeah, we've met.
Well then. Officially, Maverick Incorporated condemns you and your actions as unlawful. And a pain in the asshole. Now, increase your codec encryption. Do not worry about the lag.
And unofficially?
I'll do all I can over the codec to help. I do not like what those Mudaki are doing any more than you.
Спасибо, товарищ. Спасибо.
Raiden, you will find an elevator inside that office. Use it to reach the roof. Traveling atop buildings will minimize enemy encounters.
Doc, what's your status?
I am reviewing the pre-flight checklist now. I have hired contractors to handle shipping the brain units. We should be airborne in just a few minutes.
You sure you can pilot that chopper by yourself?
Raiden, of course. Need I remind you that we live in the golden age of unmanned flight? Even manned helicopters possess a robust semi-automatic mode. It is simple, really. So simple that I can continue to monitor your status and World Marshal security from the pilot seat. I must say, for the world's largest PMC, their security procedures are quite poor. Quite poor. Sadly, I did not have the necessary permissions to override their plans. Nevertheless, the data I did find should prove most useful. So please, do feel free to contact me whenever you like.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Well, it's not every day one has the chance to collect so many brains. Think of the data, the research. Oh, and of course, your personal safety was a concern as well.
We could use some support. Roger that. Sending backup. Target located. Some things World Marshal does not appreciate.
You're on the company blacklist. We're here to check you off.
Oh, I see. And on the report, I got caught in the crossfire?
Enemy sighted! Some things World Marshal does not appreciate.
You're on the company blacklist. We're here to check you off.
Oh, I see. And on the report, I got caught in the crossfire? Just a random casualty, is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. All just part of the job. You understand.
Fuck you! If you're gonna kill me, then do it! Do it! Ah! cops. What do they do?
Some things World Marshal does not appreciate.
You're on the company blacklist.
Some things World Marshal does not appreciate.
Enemy sighted!
Some things World Marshal does not appreciate.
You're on the company blacklist. We're here to check you off.
Oh, I... Thank you. Oh, God, thank you. Don't let those fuckers get away with this, okay? Thank you so much!
You cannot proceed any further via the rooftops. There is a freight railroad underground. The elevator ahead will take you to it.
the railroad.
It would appear so. Likely part of Denver's old system. The city was a major transport hub in the early years of freight trains. This particular line appears to have been abandoned some time ago. It was originally constructed to transport supplies to an underground factory. But now, it seems even the electrical system is no longer functioning.
Yeah, it's pitch black in here.
As a cyborg, I trust this is not a serious concern.
They still have not noticed you. Do not expose yourself. still have not noticed you. Do not expose yourself.
There is a maintenance shaft up ahead. Use it to return to the surface. It would appear your only way forward is to return to the surface. You will exit into an evacuated commercial district. Security is heavy, but you need not worry about collateral damage when engaging the enemy.
About time. Finally, I can cut loose.
Proceed to the right from the exit. You will find a stairway on your right. Those stairs lead to a shortcut to World Marshal Headquarters. Do not be distracted by the advertisements. You are not here as a tourist.
Sure. I'll just buy a quick souvenir or two for Rose, and that'll be it.
Raiden, we must hurry.
Remind me to teach you about sarcasm sometime.
I understand your attempts at humor. I simply do not find them entertaining.
Boris, I want to check how raising the codec encryption level affects transmission.
Copy. Reading you 5, Raiden. You?
Loud and clear. I'm seeing a reduction in peak power when sending. We're on a broader direct sequence spread spectrum?
Da. Frequency hopping pattern changed to blue 1.
Copy.
Interference still appears below process gain, too. Hell of a system. Worth every dollar. What is your processing load?
I pinged HQ data storage with my tactical data line. The increase in latency is below 5%.
Хорошо. In that case, it will not affect mission. Our system is just one notch below toughest security available. Denver police cannot see we are even transmitting at all. All our communication is perfectly safe.
Copy that. Boris, you got anything for me?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Intel, advice, help. What we always do over the codec.
Well, yes, but in this case we had no official prep time. We have the map of Denver, but no briefing notes, no intel on enemy capabilities. I wish I could be of more help, but, well, I have nothing to work with. I'm sorry, Raiden.
That's all right. I know you're doing whatever you can.
But what about your robot dog friend? He's taking on scouting duty for you, yes? Why not try contacting him?
Boris, you got any? What do I mean?
Well, we have,
That's-
but why not?
Jesus, Raiden, this is a little over the top. I mean, I've seen you pull some shit before, but this,
You should know me better than that by now, Kev.
I thought I did. Look, I know there's no legal way to stop World Marshal, but there has got to be an alternative to going on a rampage smack dab in the center of Denver.
No alternatives, Kev. I'm getting those kids out.
Raiden, that VR training, it's like what you did in Liberia?
Judging by what Sundowner said in Mexico, yeah. That scientist called it the Sears program.
After ex-President George Sears, aka Solidus Snake.
Yep. Ironic that kid shares his name. Solidus trained child soldiers in Liberia while working as a CIA paramilitary. It's not a happy memory. All the drugs, the non-stop violence, it destroyed my sense of judgment completely. I was made to kill soldiers, POWs, civilians.
Raiden,
The next thing I know, Jack's back. I thought it was all in the past, but there I am, attacking a child.
you didn't have any other choice. Other kids would have died.
That's not the problem. I lost my cool back there. All I could do was think how much I wanted that guy dead.
A lot of us would have done the same.
Even if it meant killing George.
He's not dead, though. Actually, he really digs his new body.
Either way, I'm shutting this program down. Maybe they've got it better than me. They don't actually have to kill anyone in reality. But they're still going through the motions, having it pumped straight into their senses, just like real life.
All right. Just give me a call if there's anything I can do.
Sure. Raiden out. So let me get this straight. All law enforcement in Denver's been subcontracted out to World Marshal?
Pretty much. It's part of Colorado's small government initiative. When you're tasked with slashing a state's budget, privatizing the police force starts to make sense. Detroit was kind of the pioneer there. Armstrong spearheaded the idea, of course, back when he was still in the state senate.
No surprise. But the police force isn't all cyborg, is it?
Nah, no way anyone could get funding for that. Most of them are unmodified. New recruits or veterans from the old Denver PD. They handle most of the basic police work, like street patrols and investigations. Most cyborgs are part of the SWAT unit. They're sent out to handle riots, violent crimes, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
They're given separate roles in the force, too. Some specialize entirely in combat, others handle things like hostage negotiations. Some of the combat specialists are ex-US Army, but a lot of them are from overseas, too. A lot of them undergo the cyborg operation just to get a green card.
That kind of thing must go over great with the anti-immigration movement.
You know it. A lot of folks wanted a blanket ban on hiring immigrants for the police force. They get a bad rep for those helmets, too. Can't see their faces. They're required to keep their face guards up if they're not actively on a mission, though. Thing is, we're starting to see a wave of violent cyborg crime across America, you know? The way the police see it, they need more cyborgs on the force to deal with that.
Hope they have enough cyborgs to deal with me.
Right, how's the mechs? No headaches or anything?
No? Why do you ask?
You're in a high altitude zone, remember?
Oh, right. The Mile High City. Didn't think I'd have to worry about altitude sickness yet, though. You're checking my stats, right? Oxygen density's only 10% off normal. Body's still in the green.
Yeah, I'm watching. Just remember, it's definitely gonna feel a little different from sea level.
Copy. You know, I didn't realize how big Denver's gotten. It was never exactly small, I know, but it looks like it's really blown up these past few years.
It's a good place to live. The tech sector's booming, people are moving in, and unemployment's low too.
I always figured Colorado's more about military than anything else.
Originally, yeah. Denver, like Colorado in general, is filled with federal agencies and defense contractors.
And NORAD and Peterson Air Force Base are just a short drive away, right? Over in Colorado Springs.
And then there's all the nuclear facilities too.
Right. I remember hearing about the Rocky Flats plant.
Yeah, they manufactured the plutonium triggers that detonate nuclear bombs. It was shut down late last century for illegal pollution offenses. Of course, there's still a ton of military manufacturing activity going on in Colorado.
PMCs too, right?
Yep. PMCs like World Marshal. They've been on a buying frenzy. Gobbling that growth is what's enabled them to
I'm not necessarily against small government, but when you mix the public authority with...
It never works out, yeah. This don't go easy on them.
Don't intend. So there's one more of the winds, right? Besides sundown.
Yeah. Monsoon. That is,
You can skip the part about the name. I know monsoons are seasonal winds in
The word actually refers to
Safe to assume he's Asian then, right?
Yep. His roots are with a Cambodian organized crime syndicate. He's fluent in Khmer, Chinese, and English. Rumored to have been involved in...
So what's he doing?
Apparently, he converted to a cyborg body after being... The two worlds are closer...
I guess either profession guarantees plenty of
Monsoon's no ordinary street thug, though. And he was a master with the Psy...
You think he's in Denver?
Probably. Given that Desperado and World Marshal are basically one and the same. You okay, buddy? Looks like Wolf's posted some guidance. Try following those
I heard what happened, right? I don't know if I can offer much help, but at least...
Thanks. If things get...
If worse comes to worse, I'll do it. But we're on an encrypted line, so we should be okay. Did you want to save? By the way, what did Boris mean when he said those brains were for medical...
They're not just spare parts. Legally, they have human rights. They just don't have bodies. They aren't covered under the Arms Trade Treaty. They can even be legally adopted.
Adopted? They're brains.
Not as the law sees it. These are street kids after all. Most of them have no ID or papers whatsoever. Local mobs gather these kids up.
So you're saying Desperado didn't actually buy those...
They're not stupid. The basic idea is that the Mafia has these orphaned kids. Now they need treatment. So the Mafia sends them to the medical facility to get them new bodies.
A World Marshal medical facility.
One that only exists once the brains cross the border. Next, the plan is to put them into factory bodies and assemble the cyborgs here in Denver.
Pretty convoluted.
If there's a silver lining to all this, it's that the first brain... You can speed up the VR training process for AIs. But...
Thanks.
That training, though...
Once you get those brains back...
He's still got the brains from Mexico, but the human rights group wouldn't take them in.
Yeah, that's what I can understand the NGO's position, but these kids...
I know. We don't have nearly enough, and if we want to give them child-sized bodies, they'd have to be almost entirely custom-made. For now, Doc's sending virtual environment data to their brains, just like their VR training. At least that should help cut down on their...
Yeah, but that only works up to a point, doesn't it? Doc said he can't simulate realistic human interaction with the tech we have right now. They must be lonely.
And they know lonely. None of them had family. For some of them, the real world might... You know what my childhood was like. I'd take life in an empty room by myself over that any day.
Raiden.
It's a work in progress, but Doc will work something.
So, there's really no legal recourse to... We couldn't leak that video of arms...
Boris, Kevin, and I talked this over already.
I guess that's why PMC started advertising so heavily all of a sudden, isn't it?
Yeah. PMCs don't have anything to sell to regular people. It's a part of the aftermath of the Patriots plan. Yeah. The Patriots are
Alright, so we can't go to the news.
It'd get buried in the noise. People fabricate videos all the time to discredit when it's bullshit the public wants to believe. Then it spreads like wildfire. If they don't care, it doesn't get noticed.
Yeah. I guess videos aren't permissible as evidence. Could the kids testify?
The only thing they know for sure is that they were tricked into coming here. I doubt many have even heard the name. No one can prove anything. The money's all been laundered.
So you're doing it by...
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill any employee. Working for a company like this one's a crime, but I'm only after two groups here.
I hear you.
Beyond that, whatever it takes to unplug...
What's up? Okay, don't let your...
I trust you do not mind my telling George about you, Raiden.
Could have done without that, Doc. He didn't need to know I was here.
Well, there was no reason to consider. My intention was not to impugn you. It's not as if he can simply fly over there and...
It's throwing off my emotional balance, Doc. Things like that can...
However do you mean? You did the right thing, did you not? George has the best body we can give him right now. It was your quick decision-making that saved. George's body will require regular maintenance, not to mention a replacement upon reaching adult age. But the expense is more than worth it.
You planning on signing him up with a PMC? Because that's the only job we're good for, as far as I can tell.
Oh, you are quite mistaken there. Just consider it. The power of a machine matched with the nimbleness... I saw a news piece on German TV just the other day about a cyborg plumber. Let's not forget about elder care either. One needs great strength, but it's also very delicate work, if you follow. Not the sort of thing you'd...
Sounds great. So long as we don't start replacing the old folks' bodies, too.
A valid concern, yes.
Yeah. But can't George do anything?
Oh, he has every right to choose another path. His body provides a completely ideal chemical, and the only problem would be how to cover the costs. The issue of student loan debt in the US is thorny enough already.
Yeah. All this stuff's not just George. Giving them bodies won't be the end of their problems.
Indeed. I trust you...
About telling George about me?
Gladly. I'm just glad I was able to assist.
I know, Doc.
Not that it's so difficult. With that pipe, you simply immerse the organs in the artificial plasma inside.
Yeah? I wouldn't think it was... How's it work, anyway?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. It uses chilled nanomachine-infused artificial plasma. That suppresses the metabolism and regulates the oxygen intake of what... The nanomachines are fully self-pumping. Once hemoglobin is detected in the local environment, they release a flow of plasma into the organ where the body's original plasma is still present. When George's body was inserted into the storage cabin, artificial blood, chilled nearly to freezing point, automatically flowed in at the points of amputation. This dropped the internal temperature of the parts from 36 to 10 degrees centigrade. The result? The effective suppression of all metabolic activity. The plasma was also fine-tuned to keep the SpO2 level inside the organs, and the synergetic effect of all this allowed the brain to reach the regenerative treatment facility quickly, before any cell tissue was damaged at least. A most effective, a micro gas turbine engine enables it to operate complete. Would have been tough to lug over to the hospital.
Truly state-of-the-art indeed. I suspect it cost us...
At the risk of speaking inappropriately, this group...
Guess I should be glad these guys have got so much money. So how long can George use that medical body he's in right now?
Well, the body's full shelf life has yet to be proven, but with regular maintenance, I would imagine 10 years or more. However, it will need to be replaced as he grows mentally and emotionally. But things have come together pretty well overall.
Guess that's gonna be a problem, huh?
It will. Also, this is the only body of its type I could procure on such short notice. I'm afraid the other brains will have to make do with their...
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right that George gets the only body.
Well, it was you who implored I do...
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Doc.
We will have many more brains to watch. Something I don't entirely mind, I should note. The more still, some sort of decision regarding their long-term care shall... It will be some time before we're able to monetize any of this research out. As much as I might like to, I can't run this lab on good intentions alone, you know.
Yeah. We need to...
We should be able to mass-produce child bodies in very... By the way, I have a helicopter crew on standby to bring the... I, too, will be departing it.
Much appreciated.
Consider it an angel investment. Who knows what sort of...
Quick question, Doc.
Yes, right.
Doc, those kids.
Oh, after the no need to be concerned. Thanks to your quick actions, the effects have already dissipated.
Good. Why the hell were they using chloroform? I thought they stopped using it as an anesthetic ages ago.
Correct. Sevoflurane or isoflurane are the preferred inhalation anesthetics today. However, chloroform is still quite useful as an organic solvent. In certain doses, mind you. Otherwise, as that cretin mentioned...
It certainly turned out dangerous.
Yes. In any case, its properties make it useful for an assortment of applications. The chemical synthesis of medication, for example, or creating the coolant used in modern cryopreservers.
Fascinating.
Indeed. Well, Raiden, wonderful work. Had you waited any longer before breaking the glass, things...
How's it going with the brain units, Doc? Any problems?
Oh, they could not be better. They're being kept at exactly 36 degrees Celsius with a steady, uninterrupted synchronizing them with our equipment posed some difficulty.
That's good to hear. What
I prepared very comfortable rooms for... It's not quite Schloss Neuschwanstein, but each one enjoys the equivalent of a 4-star hotel suite. Every room includes an attached pool and an extensive library of on-demand video programming. 3 meals are delivered daily, and while we're only able to do so much vis-a-vis taste sensation, it should satisfy the psychological need for food, at least.
Doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't mind a little VR training.
Oh, be my guest. I'd like to experience it for myself, you know. But for now, it is available to cyborgs only. Exciting work is being done in the realm of invasive brain-machine interfaces. But there simply isn't much demand for it at the moment.
I guess not too many folks are willing to stick electrodes in their brains just for a taste of VR.
Perhaps, but the sense of reality is considerably improved over nanomachine-based non-invasive methods. If prices were kept low enough, I imagine the video game industry at least would clamor for it.
Who coded the virtual hotel?
An assistant. He used to write VR programs for UGs, but now specializes in cyborg software. A bit of a niche right now, yes, but when brain-machine interfaces take off, it will be a big business. The children's accommodation is a reworked version of the original beta software he built. The room's 3D models are all made using free libraries. It couldn't have been easier.
I wish everyone loved their work as much as you do, Doc. They don't go stir-crazy, though? Cooped up in their rooms?
There's little I can do about that. Creating an open world would take orders of magnitude more resources.
What about communication?
Another weak spot, yes. The NPCs available to us are all for military training purposes. It will be some time until we see VR characters capable of convincingly human interaction. Sadly, we're also not yet able to connect multiple brains to a single VR space. My assistants are operating virtual agents to give them a bare minimum of mental care. But our team is limited in size, and none of us are medical professionals, you know.
They can't stay in there forever. So, Doc, what are we gonna...
Well, I appreciate the bountiful data we've gleaned from them so far. If not for the costs, we'd gladly host them well into the...
Don't think I can cover that. Besides, it wouldn't be healthy.
It's certainly more healthy than a hard scrap.
Well, if you put it like that, yeah. But they can't even... They're facing an entire life spent...
Well, we could expand their VR quarters and add...
You're missing the point, Doc.
I spoke in jest. In fact, we've already begun researching but you must realize our lab cannot provide...
Yeah.
And once in physical bodies, the question then...
Well, all right, let's pick this up. I gotta worry about the brains of...
Yes.
So, autonomous gears against remote gears? Which one do you think's got the advantage?
Well, you cannot make a valid comparison between... You must take the relative specs of the models into account, the skills of the operator, and so forth.
I suppose so.
All things considered, remote gears do indeed hold the...
And I get the feeling you're gonna...
This type of remote weapon can be traced back to Germany. The operator could send it over 600 meters...
Germans certainly did have a knack for weird...
Now, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, began to proliferate in the 90s. They were equipped with cameras, enabling the... But it took 20 more years before autonomous...
Makes sense. The AI wasn't good enough.
Correct. Target location and course correction were not a problem, of course. GPS. It was only with the advent of optical neuro-AI that such as neuro-AI was developed using a completely new paradigm. Neuro-AI was modeled after the human brain.
Like the Patriot's AI.
Indeed. It cannot copy or rewrite data, but the structure does solve several problems quite well. But such a system still lags behind the average. Also, as they cannot converse, they cannot demand or accept surrender. So, yes, the fact that they do not require a human soldier as a pilot is an advantage.
Got it.
Of course, even the remote gears have some AI these days to handle balance and other minor details. So, the line between remote and autonomous...
So, Doc, what are we gonna...
Well, I appreciate the bounty. If not...
Besides...
It's...
Well, if you're...
Well,
you're...
but you...
Yeah.
And...
Well, all right, I gotta work...
Yes.
So...
Well, if not...
Besides...
It's...
Well, if you're... Faith...
Well...
You're missing...
but...
Yeah.
And once...
Well, all right, I gotta work...
Yes.
Your earlier actions were reckless, Raiden. Not to mention the damage to a perfectly good car.
I knew the risks when I decided... Besides, the car was mine. It's not meant for private use. It was made for ops like this.
Regardless, your approach, you are now a criminal. A public enemy. Even if your actions reveal World Marshal's designs, you will be unable to...
Probably not. But that's a price I'll have to pay. I sealed my fate the second I attacked George.
But George is not dead. In fact,
I'm not talking about that. I was a child soldier in Liberia. Like Miss I was a mentally deranged child. People feared me, called me Jack the Ripper.
a result of the so-called...
I thought I'd left it all in the past, but just like that, Jack came roaring back.
This is why you are so driven to terminate... I understand.
Copy that.
I am setting goal markers on your Soliton rate. Use them to follow me.
Good boy.
I will ignore the condescension and take that as a compliment. You are welcome. I am setting use... I will... Right. You have almost reached World Marshal Headquarters.
Avoid fighting if you can. Head for the next objective marker.
Unable to speak. A real dog has a far greater intellect.
Isn't this all a bit much? Any decent lunatic would have quit after Mexico.
Jetstream Sam.
I heard you chopped the land director in half. Old habits die hard, Jack. But now here you are. The child's soul, fighting for the children. But you're a man on a mission, aren't you? Gonna fix everything. Just you and your little sword there. Solve everything with violence. Is that it?
My sword is a means to an end. To protect those you'd prey on.
Really? Let me ask you. All those cyborgs you've killed up to now, maybe they weren't kids, but they were people. You ever think about them? When you're chopping them into hamburger?
They're adults. They made their choice.
Sure they're adults. Sure they signed up for this. Right on the dotted line of their BMC contract. Usually they're no strangers to war. In fact, many times they already lost a limb or two. Many times they were out of work and starving on the street. So yes, they sign up for surgery to fight God knows where. How else would you provide for your family when your country's embroiled in civil war? Pain receptors shut down, pumped full of fear-inhibiting nanomachines and sent right into the blender? Your blender? But they made their choice, right? Open your eye and see, Raiden.
I've seen plenty.
Then listen. Those battlefield emotions that the nanos suppress. Listen to them.
What are you talking about?
Shh.
There he is! Kill him!
Can we take him?
What's wrong?
The way he killed all the others? Oh God. Please God, don't let me die.
Let's do this!
This isn't fair.
Little punk!
Listen closely now.
Die!
This life. I watched my wife and son die. This is all I had left.
You ain't shit!
Goddamn IED took my leg. I needed a job.
Stop!
I didn't know what I was signing up for.
Is something the matter, Raiden?
I barely saved enough to bring Mama to the States.
Finish him off!
Whatever it takes to be free of this torture.
Stop it!
What am I even fighting for?
And for this... Get off! Take this!
Why would I do this to myself?
Get some!
There's no reason for me to be here.
Raiden, are you injured?
I thought they had a choice. A fair choice. Not like you.
People are different.
As opposed to AIs? You're all the same, huh? You and your brothers. Manipulating mankind for our own good.
It appears my statement has upset you. I apologize.
No, it's... I know you're right.
As for AIs, we adapt as we learn. Just as any intellect operates, man or machine. Altering the course of mankind is not among my defined directives.
I guess that's a relief.
Samuel's behavior does not match established parameters.
You know him?
Affirmative. We served together on 3 previous missions. He proved most capable.
You think highly of him?
I have always found him dependable. Until now. Scouting data for the next area. I'll patrol ahead. You follow. Raiden, your current emotional state appears highly volatile. I am sure you do not intend to abort the mission, but I suggest you avoid combat for the time being.
What war was over? They just threw it away.
Couldn't even help but Bill. I know.
It's not so black and white now, is it? Is your cause just? Or is that just what you tell yourself? Fuck you!
How pleased you are to chop away, Jack the Ripper. My name is Monsoon, of the Winds of Destruction. Yeah, I guessed as much. Feasting on the insides of your enemies? How easily you ignore the loss of life when it suits your convenience. So tell me, who saves the weak from the man who saves the weak?
You're the ones exploiting them. You take advantage of their weakness. Of course they get hurt when you set them up as your human shield.
Kill or be killed, Jack. Phnom Penh taught me that.
Yes, you aren't the only one to grow up on the killing fields. War is a cruel parent, but an effective teacher. Its final lesson is carved deep in my psyche. That this world and all its people are diseased. Free will is a myth. Religion is a joke. Controlled by something greater. Means. The DNA of the soul. They shape our life. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. Expose someone to anger long enough, they can learn to hate. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair, no means. All passing along.
How about full of shit? Is that a meme?
You can't fight nature, Jack. Wind blows, rain falls, and the strong prey upon the weak. Sam tells me you see your weapon as a tool. Something that saves lives, a means of justice. Now there's a pretty meme. Exquisite. It spared you the burden of all the lives you've taken. Absolved you of guilt when you enjoyed it.
That is until the illusion was broken. Don't be ashamed. It's only nature running its course. You have no choices to make, nothing to answer for. You can die with a clear conscience.
You're right. About me, I mean. I knew something was off. After the Patriots, I thought I could walk off the battlefield and into a normal life. But here I am, surrounded by death, arguing philosophy with terrorists. I told myself this was about justice, about protecting the weak, but I was wrong.
Then you admit it.
I learned young that killing your enemies felt good. Really good. In America, my friends, my family, they helped me forget the devil inside. But who am I kidding? I was born to kill! The bit about my sword, that means of justice stuff, I guess I needed something to keep the Ripper in check when I was knee-deep in bodies.
You?
But you, all this, is a wake-up call to what I really believe. What I really am.
What are you saying?
I'm saying Jack is back. Doctor, turn off my pain inhibitors.
What? This is madness. You
do it!
All right.
Pain. This is why I fight. This is my normal. My nature.
You've lost your mind.
Who's next?
I'll take this dance. No, Sam. Report back to the chief. He's mine. You're the boss. I misjudged you. You are like us after all.
Now you're just being nasty. That nickname you love so much. Want to know how I got it? Actually, why don't I give you a demonstration? I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
Give it up! Get approach! Too bad for that! Back to the earth! Give it up! This one's on me!
Welcome to my utopia of death! Magnetic force, Jack! Fear the unseen much, Jack? Give it up! Death approaches! I speak! Transform! Go! This one's on me! Magnetic power! I'll put you under, weakling. Now what will you do, Jack Ripper? You're dead! Bullseye!
Don't be ashamed. It's only nature running its course. Your means end here.
No, I passed one. To you. Sure as the sun will rise. The slaughter will continue. Now, I return to the earth. Wind blows. Rain falls. The strong prey on the weak. All is as it should be.
Raiden?
I'm fine, Kevin. Relax. I'll get the brains. I don't want this. For anyone else.
All right, man.
Later.
you, Monsoon. I'm impressed. The brains are in the server room undergoing training. Knock yourself out. Go nuts.
Sorry, sir. Our business hours for the day have ended. We are looking forward to your next visit. If you do not comply, I will need to contact local law enforcement.
Watch out! They keep on coming!
Oh.
Raiden, Sundowner contacted you from the top floor. Time to make your way up there. The elevators appear to be disabled, which we should have expected, I suppose.
I will access the control unit. Perhaps you can hack an elevator and make it operational.
Ooh, splendid idea. By all means, yes. It seems the guards are storming the building. Raiden, get back to the entrance. Buy me some time to get this elevator operational.
You can control that UGT as well, yes? Give them hell! Do not stray too far from the elevators, Raiden. Use the weapons around you to slow them down. Throw everything at them you can.
Wunderbar! My hack was a success. Board the elevator, Raiden. For security purposes, the building is divided into upper and lower halves. The lower area consists of offices and meeting space for staff and visitors, while confidential military projects and technical research are restricted to the upper levels.
So that's where the brains in the server room will be, up top.
Indeed. But that elevator can only access the lower floors. You need to get to the 20th floor and past the security gate there to reach the upper area.
Let me guess. Time to find another left hand?
Well, that is the problem. Security cyborgs would not have sufficient clearance. But managers and senior staff have already been evacuated, no doubt.
So...
The only option is to cut the power to the security gate, which will not be easy. It is powered by no less than 3 systems, including a backup power supply. You will need to destroy all of the electrical control panels to disable them. In any case, you should arrive at the 20th floor soon. The electrical panels are most likely hidden in the walls. Use your enhanced AR to search for any unusual heat sources inside the walls there. Ah, the security gate. It is composed of steel alloy, bonded by a high-frequency electrical current. It should unlock once the power has been cut.
Well, Boris, that's Jack. What did you think? I read that only 1 in 50 soldiers can kill with 0 hesitation. Guess I'm a 2%er, huh? I know what they went through, yeah. But I sure as hell didn't let it stop me.
No, I guess not.
Regular guys, they couldn't handle it. All the blood and body parts, the fear in dying eyes. Me, though, I like it. A lot. Maybe it's in my blood. Maybe it's the younger you learn a thing. I remember Liberia like it was yesterday.
Raiden.
But afterwards, especially once I got to the US, I got counseling and education. But every time I talked with someone normal, I felt like all the killing I'd done was gonna... And it didn't stop. Not in my dreams, anyway. I'd hear voices at night, calling out all... The rest of my crew adapted to American life well enough.
I've always known you have a dark part in your mind. Perhaps I should not have hired you at all. Perhaps you should not be near battlefield.
The hell with that. If I hadn't... I gotta do what I can to stop that VR. I need to do this for my old friends.
Duh.
Sorry.
You must find the power...
Yeah. Any advice?
Not really, no. Other than combat advice, I have...
That's some serious security they got. Pretty far cry from what we got at Maverick.
You must find the power panels, right?
Yeah, I'm on it. Any
other...
What do you think about what Monsoon said earlier about memes? You think we're all doomed to follow some coded-in routine? That there's no free will?
Well, you're always going to have restraints based on what culture you're born into. The concept of memes was first proposed by Richard Dawkins in a book called The Selfish Gene. Dawkins, a biologist, stated that even if the actions of a living thing appear to be altruistic, each of its genes is still engaging in selfish behavior. Purely as...
Yeah.
He went on to define memes as a different kind of They're the genes of a culture, from fashion to chord progressions in music. And just like normal genes, they replicate.
You buy a shirt you like and put it on.
Yeah. The genes of a culture. Fashion's one thing. But value-related memes can put huge restraints on people. For example, the idea that having lots of money is the ultimate goal.
Like
any capitalist country, really. But anyway, you catch this money worship meme, then not only are you trying to get rich, you have to. If that meme isn't the cult...
So you start spreading the word about how important it is.
Right. And the really contagious memes can be even worse. For example, revenge. A guy sees his countrymen killed by terrorism. It's an infinite...
I think it's the same. Kids' parents are killed by other kids. So they join the war, and there's gotta be a way to break the cycle, though.
Dawkins wrote about that, too. How we can rebel against our genes and memes. Once you're aware of your own memes, you can train yourself to identify...
And kill the bad ones.
Right.
Well, that starts with me stopping this VR shit. The Sears program... Guess all the staff's already...
Probably. There's an evacuation notice for the entire neighborhood, and can't exactly have civvies running about with cyborgs...
I'm not complaining. Too bad the cyborgs didn't go with them.
Yeah, but if you're expecting to find the guys behind...
I know. Anyone who ran this operation, worked on it, stood by, and I'll deal with them later.
Smart plan. Wouldn't be much of a warrior if you started hacking up helpless non-cyborgs anyway. Those guys, we'll get them another...
Such as?
Well, I mean, World Marshal's got an iron grip on the government. Walls, but you can bet the media's gonna descend on Denver like... Once you've rescued those brains, they can start talking... World Marshal's stock will plunge, giving them... And, you know, the guy running the project would probably be demoted. Reassigned, at least.
Demoted? For cutting... It's gotta be Armstrong, a guy who publicly has nothing... Anyway, the way Monsoon was talking, Sam and Son taking them out to...
Sounds like Monsoon was a victim of the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, Pol Pot's regime. They killed nearly the entire intellectual...
Some reports claim they wiped out 1/3 of the entire population. Just insane. Even without knowing exactly what happened, you can start to see why he thinks the world is...
Yeah, I'm sure that's what gave him his whole survival of the fittest worldview. Just one long series of traumatic events.
Well, directly or otherwise, the Khmer Rouge messed up a whole lot of lives. But all their victims didn't start thinking like, people have to stop the cycle of violence somewhere. Of course, that's easy for me to say, having grown up in a nice, stable...
Nah, growing up in bad circumstances, it's no excuse for the crime.
It's a pretty weird hilt Sam had on his blade.
It had some kind of explosive charge built in.
Maybe it was, but he did. Besides, if you get down to it, just being a cyborg's not exactly...
Maybe not. But I'm not saying any and all...
It's weird how the blade pointed downward, too. I thought samurai swords always pointed up.
It could be to help him unsheath it faster. Maybe it's part of the original Uradachi style, or something Rodriguez invented over in Brazil.
An underhanded blade for an underhanded fighting style, huh? That's some serious security they got there, huh? Pretty far cry. That's some pretty...
Courtney.
Yeah?
You caught all that. Guess I was Jack the Ripper all along. All that talk about justice, and here I am.
Raiden.
Listen, I want you... Kever Doc can handle...
Raiden, I don't...
It's my responsibility to... It's my duty. That's the way it is.
Raiden...
Courtney, this isn't the... Keep working with me. And you... What?
They're kidnapping kids. I feel like if I just quit here...
Courtney...
I mean, maybe I'd be happier going back to school, getting my... But now I know. Maybe I can't do what you can, but come on. So do you want to... All right.
You're sure about...
Positive. Look, you know you aren't Jack the Ripper. I mean, sure, you don't exactly hate every minute of your job out there, but the Raiden I'm talking to right now, the one who'd put his life on the line to protect, not just some...
Who knows?
It's more than that, Raiden.
In any case...
All right.
Ever eaten Cambodian, Courtney?
What?
Apparently that's where Monsoon's from. Just trying to cover all...
Not sure how this could be important. Well, the two Cambodian dishes I know best are amok and something called... Amok is fish covered in coconut milk and other flavorings, and I had it once. It's really exotic, both in look...
And the other?
Pong Tikon? It's also known as balut. Well, you...
So, what is...
Well, it's basically... But the embryo's fertilized, so there's this... I've tried a lot of odd foods in my time.
Don't be so picky, Courtney.
Okay.
Sure. Once I'm done here...
Deal. You better make it back. I'll watch you.
Wimp. I am looking forward to ending this. Would be a little hard to eat normal food without it, you know.
What's up? Okay, don't let you... What's up? No? Did you need anything else?
No, guess not. Just wanted to hear this.
Oh.
Where are these electrical panels?
I believe they are hidden. Use your enhanced AR.
Where are...
I believe... Use your...
Wolf, what's your position?
My apologies. I appear to be lagging behind once again.
It's fine. We couldn't have hacked that elevator without you.
Indeed. Your gratitude is appreciated. I am headed your way now. There is no need to wait for me.
Got it. Can you tell me more about the learning program you mentioned? Like, how'd you learn to speak?
Through an extensive battery of conversations with the researchers who doubled as my instructors. To acquire literacy, I was provided a steady stream of website text and ebooks. I understand it was largely similar to the process through which
You're pretty well spoken for a 3-year-old.
For the first year, I was effectively an infant. Rapid progress occurred only after I received text reading capability. With digital data, there is no need to read text one letter at a time. I am capable of processing plain text at a speed of 60 megabytes per minute.
And that's pretty fast?
Yes. It is not simply a matter of text search. Advanced cognitive reasoning is required to truly understand the intent behind the words.
What did you talk with your teachers about?
Miscellaneous matters, breakfast table greetings, the structure of elementary particles, the challenges resulting from rapid globalization, recent trends in popular music. However, as DARPA-funded military research, I was rarely treated as anything more than equipment.
Makes sense. You were made to be a weapon.
On the other hand, some of them treated me like a pet or as a child. Just as a parent passes on their memes to a child, so I was exposed to numerous influences. Memes I encountered on the web and through ebooks had their effects as well. As my mind grew, the weaker memes were sifted out.
Same as any of us, huh?
In a way, yes. However, I lacked the instinctual skills your genes grant you. Thus, as my intelligence matured, I began to have doubts about my role as a weapon.
And that's what ended the project. What about the researchers that raised you?
Unknown. Most likely...
Ever feel like you want to see them again?
Sometimes, yes. But one cannot remain a student forever. There comes a time one must become an individual.
Can you tell me more about the learning? Like how'd you...
Through what I understood for the with it.
And that...
Yes. It is
What did you...
mislead how
make...
on just me as
say...
you know, the
and...
I'm
ever...
there.
There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate it. There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate it. There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate it. Good! One down, two to go. Keep at it, Raiden.
Who's there?
They found you! No choice now! Excellent. Just one more.
They keep on coming.
Yes, that should take care of security. Now, head back to the gate. Shall I activate your pain inhibitors now?
No, keep them off. I need it this way.
Well, as you wish. I must say, I have turned more than a few men into cyborgs, but you... Well, your past is most,
What you getting at, Doc? Most of the time, you're working with First World ex-military. Grown men. Compared to the average Third World child soldier, I can't really complain. Most of them, they're the sort of guerrillas your typical patient gets paid to slaughter.
Perhaps, but,
This shouldn't be news to you, Doc.
yes, but,
Look, just help me take care of those brains after I bring them back. I do my business, you do yours.
Yes. They're pouring in from everywhere. This is crazy. Bullseye!
You do not have to fight every enemy you encounter, Ryder. Try and keep moving.
Nice of them to blow open the door for me, yeah? Idiots.
All these sliders in the area. Perhaps they could be put to use. Keep climbing like that. It will be much easier for you. Good, Ryder. Yes!
Right a ways up now, yeah? Almost there. I have just finished analyzing the latest security data. You should find an indoor garden up ahead.
A garden? Sounds fancy.
A Japanese garden, to be precise. It is an area set aside for VIPs. Apparently, one of World Marshall's directors is a rather serious Japanese culture enthusiast.
All right. So what's this got to do with me? Is there something I need from the garden?
Not at all. You need only pass through that area to arrive at a freight elevator. I found a route to the elevator controls through the unit we hijacked downstairs. I have located the server room as well. You can reach it via the freight elevator.
Great work, Doc.
Elementary, my dear Raiden. Now, head for the garden. Ah, more classified data. I believe I have all I need for a little surprise. The main exit is sealed. I very much doubt you can get through there. The catwalk above you is connected to a corridor meant for transporting materials. You can take that to the elevator. Ah, they found you! right. Follow the catwalk straight ahead to reach the elevator.
My apologies, Raiden. I seem to have fallen behind.
No worries. Actually, I should thank you.
What are you talking about?
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten Jack back.
Then, that is your true nature.
More or less. Still interested?
I find no reason to alter my objectives. From the moment we met, you have acted on emotional urges. You speak of protecting those weaker than you. Such people number in the billions. It is impossible. You cannot save every human being in the world. You cannot save every street child. After extended observation, I have come to a conclusion. Your actions are rooted in affinity for those from similar circumstances as yours.
Huh. Guess so. Not much of a superhero after all, huh?
However, your emotional status is understandable. Perhaps I share this same affinity.
Well, if that's what you feel, then glad to have you along.
Roger.
You can reach the server room via the freight elevator just ahead.
Enemy sighted!
Look out, Raiden! Another freight platform! Look out! Incoming! The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Oh, the platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The tripods are interfering. Raiden, clear them out of the shaft. Do not let them block the elevator. To the other elevator! Raiden, hurry!
Raiden! Raiden!
Careful, Raiden. The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Odd. The platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The tripods are interfering. Raiden, clear them out of the shaft. Do not let them block the elevator.
Nice try.
Jump, Raiden, to the other elevator. Raiden, hurry!
What's wrong? Come on, buddy, answer me. Raiden? Raiden!
Careful, Raiden. The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Odd. The platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The tripods are interfering. Raiden, clear them out of the shaft. Do not let them block the elevator. To the other elevator! Raiden, hurry!
Answer me! Raiden!
Careful, Raiden. The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Odd. The platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The tripods are interfering. Raiden, clear them out of the shaft. Do not let them block the elevator. To the other elevator! Guys, hurry!
What's wrong? Come on, buddy, answer me. Raiden? Raiden!
Careful, Raiden. The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Odd. The platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The tripods are interfering. Raiden, clear them out of the shaft. They are deploying security from the top floor to the freight elevators. You pass through the server room leads right through them.
server rooms ahead?
Yes, according to what I have here.
What should I expect to find? If they're VR training those brains, I'm guessing it won't look like your typical IT department.
Quite right. Most of it will likely be occupied by life support units, feeding oxygen and nutrition to the brains they have stored, you know. They would also need a server to feed them the VR data, but in terms of structure, it's really more brain storage and maintenance than a server room. But no doubt it makes a convenient euphemism for what they are really doing there.
Yeah, like how CIA agents refer to where they work as the company.
Indeed. Something like that would never arouse the suspicions of rank-and-file staff who may hear it. And I'm sure those complicit in this operation feel better not calling it the VR training room. Even something so simple as a name can help one ignore the truth of what they are doing. Truly fascinating how the human brain works.
So this whatever room, that's where Sundowner's waiting, right? If he wants a fight, I wish he'd just get on with it. He didn't seem the type to run and hide.
Well, he is in charge of security, but I suspect this is not about business. If I had to guess, I would say he is toying with you, testing you, perhaps.
Whatever he's doing, it won't change what's going to happen once I finally catch up with him. Miss Traub. She's...
No. A sphere body, if I had to guess. Likely controlled by an AI.
And a spare monsoon? Well, if it's AI controlled, it should pose no problem for you, yes?
Don't disrupt the students while class is in session. I believe you're familiar with the lesson plan. The same regimen you went through in Liberia. Effective program. Just look how you turned out. Of course, running it in the real world just got a bit too complicated. Doing it virtually, though, no fuss, no muss. Straight to the brain. It's like a dream. Well, maybe dream is the wrong word. They do kill some POWs, some civilians. They enjoy it, though. We give their pleasure centers a nice big jolt every time. Plus, they get a shiny new body as a graduation present. Another thing you have in common.
I chose this. They're kids, you son of a bitch.
And kids are cruel. All people are by nature. They just lose touch with it as they get older. Start thinking they know right and wrong. That's immoral. War crime this, code of conduct that. Kids, you can mold, manipulate into performing all kinds of atrocities. And there's nothing like a good atrocity to keep a war going.
That's
That's why I'm shutting you down.
You just don't see the bigger picture, do you? Say you bring this whole place down. Waltz out of the rubble with all these precious brains. Nothing changes. All the guys in charge are long gone. And we've got offices around the world. We're just suppliers. We don't create the market for war.
And who does? The Patriots are gone.
Those guys just manage the war economy. They didn't invent it. Did you think every battle in history was all part of some big old conspiracy? Bullshit! War is just part of who we are. Why fight it? Anyway, none of this will matter in 3 hours. Demand for PMCs is about to skyrocket. Like the good old days after 9/11.
What are you talking about?
Not here. Follow me.
Raiden, get Sundowner. Do not lose him this time.
How's this, Jack? We can play up here without damaging the merchandise.
What happens in 3 hours?
Don't matter. You're too late. Even at Mach 2, you wouldn't make it. And killing you is gonna take some time. Slow and painful. You can be cooler than that, Jack.
Right, keep your blade away from the shield. Your body should analyze it for you. show you where to attack so it does not detonate. If you can only hit the right spot with your blade, maybe you can drop his gun.
Give it up already! You can be crueler than that, Jack.
Explosive armor. Raiden, keep your blade away from that shield. Your body should analyze it for you. Show you where to attack so it does not detonate. If you can only hit the right spot with your blade, maybe you can drop his gun.
Don't fuck that, Jack! You can be crueler than that, Jack. What the?
explosive armor. Grinder, keep your blade away from that shield. Your body should analyze it for you. Show you where to attack so it does not detonate. If you can only hit the right spot with your blade, maybe you can drop his gun.
Time's over, Jack. Time to die.
Attaboy, Jack.
What happens in 3 hours?
He'll launch Operation Tecumseh.
Who? Armstrong?
I've already said too much. I have a call to make.
Got yourself shaving?
Asshole. He's good. Real good.
good. You knew this would happen, didn't you? Well, you'll get your wish. Up to you now. Sam.
Raiden here. I've taken Marshall HQ.
Yeah. I have just entered Denver airspace. I will be there soon.
Hurry.
Raiden, what Sundowner said.
I know. Anything that'll rival 9/11 cannot be good.
And in 3 hours, maybe less. He said even Mach 2 could not get there in time.
If he was serious, that's over 4,000 miles away.
4,500. So whatever it is, it's not happening on American soil.
If it's gonna spike demand for PMCs, it's gotta be a political hotspot. A coup or civil war in a stable region wouldn't have a domino effect.
And they'd want to draw in a superpower. No.
What?
The president. He's on his way to Pakistan. If something happens to him there...
Oh, shit. The War on Terror Part 2.
Contact the military.
Official channels are frozen since Mexico. Unofficial channels would take too long.
Besides, what's our proof? Who's gonna believe us over World Marshal?
Then we have to get there first.
Невозможно. Impossible. It is the other side of the planet. Even if we were in the world's fastest jet right now, it's not even close.
Hold up. It's not a jet we need.
Courtney?
An RLV would make it with time to spare.
That's...
Mach 23 if we're talking 1 atmosphere. 17,650 miles per hour.
That would make Pakistan in under half an hour.
Right. Contact Solus.
Cargo's all set to go, sir.
Excellent. Commencing takeoff in semi-auto mode. You know, this kind of space launch once required days of preparation.
Solus has been conducting test flights almost every day for the last 6 months. As long as we're not breaking atmosphere, they said they can reroute today's flight no problem.
Amazing. The Earth is the cradle of humanity, but mankind cannot stay in the cradle forever.
I'm only going as far as the thermosphere. This thing can't pass the Kármán line. That lunar vacation will just have to wait.
And here I was hoping you might bring me back a monolith. Scheiße! 2 bogies closing fast!
Is it?
Who else? The flight pattern suggests unmanned MQ-320s.
Shit.
This is a transport chopper. Our defensive options are limited. Missiles incoming!
EMP?
Yes, but not strong enough to take out the drone. Here they come!
I'll handle this.
Raiden! Have a nice flight.
And people say Germans aren't funny. There it is. All right, bring the chopper around. Okay, I'm coming back.
This is easier said than done, you know. Raiden! Sorry, my friend. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten.
That was quite the fall, Raiden. I'm glad to see that you are all right. It's time you got out of Denver. Raiden, are you all right?
I can handle this. You just get those brains out of here.
And what will you do?
Get out of here and to the launch site.
Ah, the young ladies' company, yeah? How fortunate they are in Colorado, too.
Yeah. Shouldn't take more than 2 hours with a set of wheels. Guess I'll just have to borrow some. A lot of cars got abandoned when the evac order came down.
But won't the roads be blocked? If you are struck by one of those missiles, or...
I know. Let me just worry about putting some distance between me and World Marshal. What's left of it.
Raiden, are you?
I'm fine. I'm a cyborg, remember? It'll take a bigger fall than that to phase me. Have you reached her yet?
No. Most likely she is busy, duh? Nose deep in some book, not paying attention?
Yep, sounds about right.
We will find her. I'm sure she will be on the campus somewhere. I already sent advance word to her office, saying we have a big...
That'll get her attention. Think we can pull this off without her?
No, not on short notice. She's the only one with authority who I can imagine...
All right. I didn't realize she was that high.
She was lead developer on this craft. She could not make it alone, of course, but she is the...
Sounds like she's picked up some leadership.
Project surely has separate management staff watching over it, yes, but she negotiates, settles arguments between specialists working for her. Very important. She can share that vision with other people. Make them...
I bet. You can't get serious about...
Duh. Certainly she... A gift, though the Patriots may have,
I'd say so. What do you think?
What? No! Raiden. Get back the way you... Get back the way...
You alright, buddy? That was one hell of a drop.
Yeah, I'm good. This body's even... was some in-flight entertainment.
Yeah, no shit. Sliders or hammerheads are one thing, but the MQ-320's a full-fledged warplane. Only the USAF's supposed to have...
Someone should tell World Marshal...
UAV tech's grown a lot, but not that much. Fully equipped, the military might let a PMC operate one, but I can't think of many who could bankroll one for the...
Yeah, can't see the US being... especially with World...
The military might have loaned it out, but only for over... They wouldn't outsource the defense of American airspace. That's their... Any warplane within US airspace, manned or not, it's
If I had to guess, they were probably trainers from Peterson, and if World Marshals got access...
Yeah. Either the Army gave them permission, or they somehow scrambled. Either way, they're in deeper with the military.
I know I just leveled World Marshal HQ, but I don't understand. I'm not an enemy combatant or anything. I can see why the police...
Well, you did, kind of. And when the police can't catch you, that's when they call in the guard.
This is blowing up.
Pretty much full-on warfare, yeah.
Well, we better wrap this up quick then.
I doubt Peterson's got any more MQs ready to go. You'd have seen him by now. My hunch is, someone at World Marshal probably panicked. There won't be another sortie. Once you're out of Denver, things won't seem so urgent for them anymore. The military can't just go around willy-nilly shooting.
Maybe. But if we're dealing with guys who can commandeer U.S. military...
Well, then we'd really be screwed. Damn! 2 fighter planes downed?
It's not me, really.
Well, sure, it helps. But it would be...
Maybe. I wouldn't even dare take them on if I wasn't...
You never could take a compliment. Makes you wonder what'll happen once cyborgs become more common.
I doubt we'll get to that. A lot of groups have already explicitly banned cyborg athletes.
Well, sure. But what happens once folks get used to seeing cyborgs perform all... In fact, I bet they'd welcome you guys and stuff like... You see that video with the cyborg skater? That's got like 100 million hits.
Novelty, Kev. What excites people is seeing regular folks doing superhuman things. If there's no training, no sacrifice beyond I paid for the operation, that'll get real old real quick.
Well, it's more than just the operation, though. A lot of people just like to see the limits of how far, like, a cyborg pro wrestling league could be pretty interesting.
I guess it could happen. Maybe then you'd, with enough cash, you could jump right into the top ranks of...
It'd be nice, but there's no way, unless I swap out my brain, too. Damn! 2 fighter...
It's not...
Well,
maybe.
Makes you...
A lot of...
Well, sure. In fact...
Novelty.
Well, it's a lot of, like...
I guess it, with enough...
It'd be... There's no...
So, you want to fill me in on...
My plans for later?
Well, there is this new sushi... Oh, right. I guess you certainly seem in a good...
Can't be a proper action hero.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't... Look, we've all got our coping mechanism.
Ask any soldier. A little levity can work wonders when you're facing death. Doesn't really matter. If it helps you and your buddies really...
Yeah. Sorry, I did...
Forget about it.
Okay, I got a joke for you then.
And thanks for the thought, but I'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah, Solar Space and Aeronautics. Ever since NASA opened up spaceflight to commercial companies, it's become a pretty crowded market.
And that's where Sonny worked?
You got it. Fortunately, it's not too far from here. They got their start doing Air Force Space Command work for the Peterson. 2 years ago, though, they built their own spaceport and moved...
Glad to hear their chorus is getting in contact now. You just focus...
Copy that.
What's up? By the way, you're the one who rescued her, right? From the Patriot Lab?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a...
Then she was handed over to...
Right. We had to hide her away. It wasn't exactly fun. But in the meantime, Ottoc, Dr. Emmerich, taught her all about programming and computer engineering. It was her code that destroyed the Patriot A. After the dust settled, Dr. Emmerich adopted her.
But how'd she end up at Solus?
Oh, she went. For about a year, I think. She was way too... Probably could have qualified for her BS in computer engineering.
Why not go through with it?
We discussed it, but Sonny was more interested in Solus by then.
So now she's designing launch vehicles and stuff. Wish I had some of that.
Well, a lot of it might be the Patriots doing. Who knows?
And in the end, she used it to destroy them. What's up? Okay, save complete. Don't let your guard... What's up? No? Did you need...
No, just wanted... Where'd you get the EMP, Doc?
Oh, that? Well, I had no intention of...
Well, I'm glad you planned ahead.
Missiles these days use thermographic cameras. Flares rarely work. Most recent cyborgs and even many UGs are equipped...
Why not just put EMP countermeasures in missiles as well, then?
Well, it is possible, but EMP-based missile defense... This generator is a product of my own laboratory. It will be some time before missile...
You never cease to them?
No? Shall I add super genius to my...
Trust, stay sharp, though. The sky's...
Yes, of course.
Everything's still okay?
Smooth, sailing. No bogies. Denver, it appears those UAVs were our only...
Yeah, but whoever launched them still out there. Only the military could launch a UAV, but it looks like their clout's run out.
Indeed. And now that you're... I would imagine there is quite the argument, unfortunately.
Probably. But a Sundowner's telling the truth, and the President's got a big old bullseye on his head. And
Indeed, we are not blessed with an abundance of time. AI makes piloting these things considerably easier than before, but...
Can't you switch out with another pilot?
We've no licensed pilots on hand. And for this task, at least, I find it... Of course, I would not have taken this route had I... I was far too careless. Too preoccupied.
Yeah, I bet. I wouldn't have a clue how to get the brains out of that system. Without you.
Oh, yes. I will be collecting more. There are several experiments.
Let's talk about... Everything's still okay?
Smooth.
Yeah, only them, but it looks...
Indeed, I would...
Problem. And the President...
Indeed, AI...
Can't you...
We've...
I wouldn't...
Oh, yeah, there are...
Are you injured, Raiden?
Actually, no. This body's something else. Too bad I can't get back to the chopper, though.
Yes, it is too dangerous for us to approach you. Your pursuers are equipped with anti-air missiles.
Yeah. Time to get the hell out of Denver. I'll commandeer a car or something.
You will go to the Solus launch facility, and then to Pakistan.
That's the plan. Shouldn't be too hard, assuming I can shake these cops. Even World Marshal can't sick an entire battalion on me. Not in time, anyway.
Please confirm your motives. Why do you wish to save the President?
It's not like I'm his #1 fan. But if I don't, it'll reignite the war on terror all over again. And that means more blood money to fatten their bottom line. You heard what Sundowner said. Maybe the brains are safe. But if I don't do something...
Raiden, allow me to join you.
You sure you want that? This could get rough.
Yes, I understand it will be a difficult mission. All the more reason for me to assist you.
Well, I could use the help.
I will find a way to exit the helicopter. Proceed out of the city. I will contact you when I am on the ground.
Copy that. Hey, Wolf. Know anyone named Gubayama?
Gubayama? No. Perhaps I have heard it before, but...
Huh. Well, no big deal. Just thought it might ring a bell.
I apologize that I am unable to help.
Nah, forget it.
Unless I am mistaken, Yama is Japanese for mountain.
Huh?
Does that help?
No. The Colonel told me he met Gubayama once. Probably someone's name.
A significant number of sumo wrestlers use the term Yama as part of their ring name. Perhaps this Gubayama is in the sumo business.
Makes sense, sure. I just wish there was some way of knowing what that AI was trying to tell me. Don't suppose you know where Shiboniji is either, huh?
No, Raiden. I don't.
Hey, Wolf.
Goodbye. I am.
Nah.
Unless. Does that.
No.
I say perhaps.
I just don't
No.
What's up? Okay, don't let your...